up, a young baby struggles with every breath as paramedic Chris Deacon and Dr. James Leverve work together to try and stabilise her. A head-on collision in the rural town of Te Hana leaves a small family with life-threatening injuries. And a car travelling in excess of 100 kilometres hits a young boy in Code 1. In Mission 1, the Westpac rescue team are responding to a mother in desperate need of help.
Yeah, good afternoon. Departed out of Mechanics Bay. Got 5 on board for Coromandel Airfield.
10-day-old Quinn McLean is in a critical condition after her mother noticed she was struggling to breathe. She's been taken to Coromandel Airfield, 20 minutes flying time from Auckland.
Babies, if they're going to have a problem, it's a respiratory problem, so just why that is, it could be an infection or could have been suffocated for a period of time, could have any host of things. Typically, young babies, they do really well to a point, and then if they're going downhill, then they can be, it's like falling over off the knife edge sort of thing.
Landing 6 John. Weather off him. 100, talk, matched. Beat up, off, harnessed, up secure. Secure on the rear. Coast Guard radio, Westpac, Rescue 2, put us landing Coromandel, thanks, cancel SAR. Off comms. Roger D.
Dr. James and paramedic Chris arrived to find a very distraught baby who was being comforted by her mother.
What's been happening today?
Okay, she's quite cyanoed. She's got a heart rate of 200 for the registry, they just want her ASAP.
Okay, and
As soon as she stops crying, she goes quite blue.
well, actually, why don't we jump in the back of the ambulance and have a decent look?
Once in the ambulance, both Chris and James discover baby Quinn's condition is worse than they expected.
Get a pulse rate by shoving some electrodes on her. Yep. So we'll shove a couple of these on. Have you got a paediatric blood pressure cuff? We'll get rid of that monitor, just if we slip it over there.
Her blood pressure is rising. And Chris is well aware that time is against them.
No, on the inside. See, there, that one there.
The arms.
Mission 2 for duty crewman Dean Harvey and advanced paramedic Barry Watkin.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Big prank.
Visit point 1003.
Where?
State Highway 1, vicinity 381 to 384.
Two vehicles travelling at high speed have collided head-on, leaving the drivers and passengers of both vehicles in a critical condition. It is believed that fire crews are still trying to cut one of the drivers from her vehicle. 10 minutes flying time from Auckland at the rural town of Te Hana.
What we're going to is a significant accident in Te Hana, car v car, and we heard that there were patients, multiple patients up trapped, involving a adult and a child. Something serious going down, that's for sure.
Northcom calls Westpac 2.
Westpac 2 receiving.
Roger, confirming that LZ is at Te Hana School.
Roger, understood. We're all set secure in the rear, Lance.
Excellent. Coast Guard radio, Westpac Rescue 2.
Westpac Rescue 2, cancel radio, go ahead.
Westpac Rescue 2, on the ground, Te Hana, cancel SAR.
On arrival, Barry and Tony are confronted with an horrific scene, with numerous patients in all directions.
Just looking at the damage.
But most concerning is 43-year-old Marianne Popata, who is still trapped in her vehicle after the high-speed head-on collision. Her legs are being crushed by the mangled metal forced by the collision into her lower body. Extricating her is a delicate procedure.
GCS of 14. Yep, okay.
One mistake could leave her permanently paralyzed.
Okay, so let's see how we're going here.
Marianne is unaware that her 3 children that were travelling with her are also injured from the accident.
It may yet turn out that this kid over here is more badly injured than this lady here.
Yeah, understood.
After Tony Smith's initial assessment, it becomes clear that her daughter Bree is also badly injured.
We're going to assume we're going to be sliding her up onto the scoop, I'd say, from that direction.
Barry Watkin waits patiently as fire crews prepare to move Marianne.
We know she's got a femur.
It's not long before the crew have her out of her mangled car.
No, we got it. It's just the strap that's here.
Just secure on the stretcher and we'll do it all down there.
Yep, okay.
Although Marianne is out of her vehicle, the extent of her injuries are severe. Family arrive in the hope that their loved one will be okay.
Marianne was the driver of one of the vehicles. She's got a very badly broken left arm and that's very distorted and we're going to have to straighten that. She's got a very badly broken right leg, a very badly broken left knee and left ankle and they're very distorted. So what we're going to do is give Marianne some medicine, some morphine and some ketamine. We're going to straighten her limbs and then we're going to take her to Auckland Hospital.
Straightening her badly damaged limbs is a painful but necessary procedure. Outside the ambulance, her 8-year-old son Travis is still in shock after the ordeal, unaware of the whereabouts or condition of his mother. At the Coromandel airfield, Dr. James and paramedic Chris are trying desperately to stabilise 10-day-old Quinn McLean.
How many other children do you have? One. Any problems during the pregnancy?
She has had a rapid heart rate in excess of 200 beats per minute.
Let's get that baby suit out of the way. Let's get that arm out of that, I think.
With the normal rate being below 180, it is no surprise that young Quinn is finding it difficult to breathe.
Yep.
Outside the ambulance, Quinn's father, Alex McLean, arrives to see his loved ones.
So what do you think could be wrong with her?
Some sort of respiratory illness. I can't hear a huge amount of chest.
I guess you must be concerned, but the good news is we've given it a bit of fluid and we can give some medication if we need to en route. Poor little sausage.
Dr. James and paramedic Chris have done all they can for young baby Quinn.
And what we'll do is I'll go onto our monitor. And then we can get a BP as well.
It's now a matter of getting her to hospital fast, where a team of doctors can perform the necessary procedures.
We'll get cracking.
Vanessa's father arrives, and he knows there's only time for one last kiss.
Yeah, all the best, mate. Yeah, we're going to go through the Starship just because it's so much quicker. It's about 20 minutes quicker.
Yep, sweet as Meg.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Yeah, I think that's...
With our mum's got my bag.
Yep, I've got everything.
Quinn needs immediate hospital care as quickly as possible.
Take baby off mum, and then baby will come shortly after it.
Okay, so 10-day-old, that's in shock from probably volume loss, not feeding very well. High respiratory rate, looks pretty unwell initially, blue from not enough oxygen, so we're going to take a flight to Starship rather than Waikato so that we have a shorter flight distance.
We look at the heart rate there, just get a printout. That's still pretty quick. I don't think it's come down significantly. We're still sitting at about 280, not 180.
Located near Te Hana, 43-year-old Marianne Popata is receiving urgent medical attention after she and her children were involved in a head-on collision.
Auckland Hospital.
Her daughter, Bree, who was a passenger in the car, is also suffering multiple injuries from the accident. Marianne has multiple broken bones throughout her whole body. Dr. Tony Smith will need to straighten any injured limbs before transport.
Now, Marianne, in a sec, I'm going to put some oxygen on your face, and then then we're going to give you some medicine which is going to make you feel really, really woozy.
To do this, she will need to be given a large dose of pain medication.
Mixing up ketamine and morphine, and then we'll be transporting this woman down. So, Dino, draw it up and inject in that bag for me, please, mate. I'll get the morphine underway. That's okay. So, Marianne, there's a bit going on here, isn't there? Hey? There's a few things to do. We're going to get that pain under control so we can get things straightened out and splintered. But I'm going to give you a stronger medication. It's one of those things that sends your awareness off into la-la land. All right, so things won't bother you so much. All right?
You be strong, girl. Yeah, okay, Margate. Just make sure our kids are all right. Just... Yeah, 2 of them coming to the hospital with you, Nardo and Bree. And I've got Travis. I'll take Travis with me.
So, Marianne, you're about to make medicine which is going to make you feel quite woozy, and then I'm going to straighten your legs. This will be sore, but I'll do it as smoothly as I can for you, my love. And then what I think we might do, if you could just pop the strap on the oxygen, I'll get you to come up. As I straighten the limb, I'll get you to tie up the bandages. Okay, so we'll give her about 2 minutes for that ketamine to get on board.
And there's 10 left.
Have it ready because you might want to do that.
Keep that handy there.
Dr. Tony Smith needs to act now. Vital blood circulation throughout her limbs has been compromised.
Marianne, how are you feeling? Okay, you might feel a bit strange. Now I'm going to straighten your leg.
At the moment.
Okay. All right. All right. Sorry, my love.
In Mission 3,
just had a call from ambulance to what we believe is a car versus pedestrian over at Pairua.
8-year-old John has been hit by a car travelling in excess of 100 kilometres per hour. He is in a critical condition, 20 minutes flying time from Auckland in the rural township of Pairua.
All things good. Okay, come on.
Head of Emergency Medical Services, Dr. Chris Denny, heads out on his first mission of the season.
So we're inbound for a motor vehicle crash for which we don't have much information. We understand it's an 8-year-old pedestrian struck by a car. We know the child's status too, not much more.
So see you now, 1 o'clock.
Okay, cool. Road RPM.
Beta 100.
Autopilot.
Test mode for landing.
Meter.
It's off.
Harnesses.
Everyone's secure.
All things secure on the rear. Prevent checks complete.
Good position. Feels good. Go down.
Okay, that's our cost.
On arrival, Dr. Chris and advanced paramedic Russell Clark waste no time assessing the injured young child.
This little fella's John.
Okay.
John was walking down the road and a car was coming approximately 100 k's an hour. It struck him and then he's been propelled off to the side. He was initially KO'd.
Okay.
He's been quite verbal about the fact that he's got pain in his tummy.
Okay. John could be suffering major internal bleeding, but of equal concern to Chris is the possible trauma caused to his head on impact.
Hey, John. John, will you open your eyes for me? Can you break my finger for me? Can you give me a good squeeze?
It's not looking good for John, as his responses to Chris's tests are virtually non-existent.
John? John?
I think the plan is we'll just put him on a stretcher and lift him with the car.
The team need to move John to hospital as fast as possible.
Looks like he's literally outside his home, and somehow, or for some reason, he's been on the road and a car has come through at what appears to be quite high speed and has skidded and has hit a bit with the front of the car, and then he's gone up onto the windscreen.
His mother looks on in total disbelief. As the reality of what's happened finally hits home. It's now up to the team to get her son to hospital in time. Near the rural town of Te Hana, 43-year-old Marianne Pōpata is being treated after being involved in a head-on car crash with another vehicle. Dr. Tony Smith has straightened her badly fractured limbs to restore blood circulation.
Sorry, my love.
Bit of amnesia won't hurt on it.
What we might do is we might just put a forward up. I think.
Can't stand it. Ouch.
Okay.
Ouch.
Sorry, just throwing up another 40 metres, mate.
Her daughter, Bree, who was a passenger in the car, is also suffering injuries and will be accompanying her mother to hospital.
This young girl bounced the helicopter.
Yes, so we just need some egress now?
Yeah, so we'll organise this van out the way, get my car out the way, and we can get this van going.
Thanks very much. One of your children, I don't know which one, is going to be with us. Your other two children, one of them is gone by helicopter, they're injured, they look okay. And the other one is going by road, and they don't look too bad. Everybody is going to be okay.
It'll be next anyone.
Very badly injured, but even we've got us fixable.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. No, it's all right.
Ouch!
It's all right. Come over. Yep, take your time.
Both mother and daughter will be checked thoroughly by the hospital medical team.
Bree, what's going to happen? We're going to lower this bed down now, and Debbie's going to lower the foot end down first, okay? And this lovely firefighter's going to be looking after your hands, making sure that's okay.
Bree has an obvious head injury, which could be associated with bleeding into the brain.
On 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just walk sideways.
How old's Bree now?
Bree's 5.
5, okay.
Actually, what did I say the helicopter was?
Yep.
Finally, after 1.5 hours being trapped in the wreck of her car, Mary Ann and her daughter Bree are being transported to Auckland Hospital,
And we'll get this fella up and fix.
where they will get the care they so desperately need. About to be airlifted to Waikato Hospital is 8-year-old John, who has been struck by a car travelling at 100 kilometres per hour. He is in a critical condition, suffering multiple injuries.
You're on out of here, Des?
Yep. 15 minutes.
Close the door.
Okay, coming up. Yeah, everything straight ahead.
Here, roger that.
Throughout the 15-minute flight to Waikato Hospital, advanced paramedic Russell Clark and Dr. Chris will keep a close eye on John's recordings.
I have an 8-year-old boy, closed head injury, some abdominal pain. Concerned mainly about his belly right now. So far his tummy is not expanded. So just want to give the Waikato Hospital as much notification as we can so they can be prepared for our arrival.
1.5 hours after being hit by a car, young John is about to be delivered to Waikato Hospital.
Get down.
On arrival, paramedic Russell Clark notices the young lad starting to come round.
Hey, buddy. Good boy. Hello. We're just waiting for another helicopter to take off, okay? And then we're going to take you in, yeah? You okay? Do you remember the car at all? Do you remember what happened? No?
Although now conscious, he is still dazed, which could indicate that he may still have a serious head injury.
Taken away.
I think he's very, very lucky. He was on an open road. There was some big skid marks, so it appears that the car's managed to slow down a little bit. But considering the mechanism and the speed, I think he's come off very, very luckily.
En route to Auckland Hospital is 10-day-old Quinn McLean.
Be on the roof in 21 minutes.
She is suffering from a rapid heart rate, which, if not treated, could become life-threatening.
Very young baby, pretty low volume of blood because, you know, baby only weighs probably 3 or 4 kilos. So any volume losses like in vomiting or diarrhea or even through breathing rapidly, you can lose quite a lot of fluid. We had a pulse of probably in the order of around 250 to 280, capillary refill of 5, which is a sign of shock. And we've decided that it's better that we just take a quicker flight to Auckland rather than go to Waikato.
The team are nearing Auckland Hospital.
Station BD, this is Westpac Rescue. How do you read, over?
Loud and clear, over.
And are only moments away from the emergency department.
Patient is status 2, and we have an ETA in your department of approximately 10 minutes, over.
Roger, we'll meet you at the bay.
Coast Guard Radio, Westpac Rescue 2 is landing Auckland Hospital. Cancel, sir. Ambulance control, Westpac 2's destination.
hindsight. When we went to pick up Quinn, she was pretty unwell with very rapid heart rate. On the way, she remained pretty much the same. It became increasingly obvious that what I suspected initially of an SVT or rapid heart rate was probably what was going on, and that can be quite rapidly treated either with some intravenous drugs or actually dipping the head in ice water. That's actually what happened in the resus room. Pulse came down from about 280 down to 150 and treated. They'll do a few more tests and keep her in, do some blood tests. So if there's no underlying heart abnormalities, she'll be able to go home pretty quickly.
3 weeks later, and the McQuinn family are back home in the Coromandel, where they have continued to run their business. But how that day unfolded still haunts them.
She wasn't feeding properly and she was quite pale, and we just thought she'd had a bit of an upset stomach, so we weren't all that worried. And then my midwife came round for her checkup and said that it wasn't well at all and to take her straight down to the doctors. I think the doctor actually thought she was almost dead when we arrived because she was so pale.
Partner Alex remembers arriving to see his daughter fighting for her life.
Well, I suppose what was going through my mind is what's wrong with her. You know, like that's what I was more concerned about, was what the actual problem was. You know, and how serious it is. But you get a lot of things go through your mind in a really short space of time, eh? And just you'd swap places with her in a heartbeat, you know.
Due to the quick response time of ambulance and the rescue helicopter, Quinn was able to be rushed to hospital in time.
They were there within a few minutes of us arriving. You'd see them coming, I think, when we pulled up there, so it was pretty much straight away.
We got in the ambulance with those guys. Man, they just sorted you out, you know, and I think that's why it comes across like we're not panicking, is because we knew we were in such good hands, and they did just an excellent job of calming the whole situation down here.
Mary Ann had reconstructive surgery to mend her damaged limbs, while her daughter Bree suffered a contusion to her forehead. Both are now doing fine. John had a major concussion, but fortunately didn't suffer any spinal damage. He is still recovering back home in Paeroa. And baby Quinn is now back to her former self.
Mate, I owe those guys everything, eh? They did just an awesome job. They know how to calm a situation down, you know. It might look like we weren't panicking, but I tell you what, we're freaking right out here.